Hi, how you doing? Hi. Video on training when you're in a rush. Shit, my iPad just came on. Training when you're in a rush. It's coming to the Christmas holidays. This is probably the perfect time to talk about if you're training under tight time constraints, and how to get an effective workout. That's effective. That's really good under a time restraint. And I'll explain why that's relevant. But right now I need to go get the kids because I've just finished work. I need to give them childcare. So follow me. Oh look, the camera's just running in my car. Obviously out here, like, you know, get in, set the camera up and, you know, look very stupid to neighbours. Anyway, so had to get the kids. Always have to do this after work, so it's around 5 o'clock that we have to get the kids from nursery, 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. So basically you don't stop work. The shit continues. So let's go get the kids first, and then I'm going to explain roughly why my routine in this schedule may be actually quite similar to yours. Okay, so got the kids. Say hello, kids. Hallie, say hello. Hello, Dorian, say hello. Hello. They actually did it. Fuck me. So now we head back home, get the kids ready, and they go to bed around 7:30, and then I get ready for training. But I'm going to explain to you what way I do it, even though I do consider myself, I take training very seriously and I do it a lot. I'm going to explain to you, yeah, no, Mummy's at home. Mummy's not here. Mummy's at home. But I'll show you a sort of method, especially in this busy week of Christmas, of how you could actually kind of cram effective workouts in an effective manner, in an effective duration, in an effective means, in an effective blah, blah, blah. Well, Dorian, was nursery fun? What'd you do? Play with dinosaurs? Did you go outside and play? Did you sing and dance and play? Did you eat loads of food? What else did you do? What else? Hey, did you have a fun day in nursery? And what'd you do? Did you sing? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No! So a quick rundown on how my schedule does look usually. So, as I said, I get up quite early in the mornings. We get up around 6:30. We get the kids ready for nursery. And then I start work at around 8 o'clock. And usually through to 5 o'clock. And then you pick them up. And then we do the stuff as we're doing there now, getting their dinner ready, and then get them ready for bed, play with them a bit, spend some time. That means by the time I've done all that, I'm getting to the gym around just after 8 o'clock. My gym closes just before 10 o'clock, so it gives me 2 hours, which is a long time, but sometimes that can run over. Now, this Christmas week, there's a lot going to be going on. There's so much to do, as usually probably the same. There's a fucking load to do. Be it shopping, keeping up appearances, you know, social gatherings, meeting up with people, you know, the list is very endless. This kind of thing. So you still want to get your workout in, okay? Now, I suggest in this video one of the pointers was going to be taking the week off, because maybe you haven't had a week off, but I would suggest doing that on the week of actual Christmas Day, you know, and Boxing Day. There's nothing wrong with taking a week off. I do it every year. There's not one problem. In fact, it's really good for recovery. But taking 2 off in a row, probably wouldn't suggest it. So this week here, and next, the ones before Christmas, are the sort of last bits of progress and stimulus you're going to be producing before the break. So they're quite important, especially to go in to the break quite strong and knowing what you're doing. So let's go over the points. So we want to, ideally you may only have an hour or under an hour for some of these workouts on the busy weeks. Now, as I've always said, if the workout does require to take longer, as per your plan or the boxes you have to tick, then so be it. But we don't really have the luxury of being able to do this in these weeks, I understand, especially with busy families and stuff and busy lives. So we have to be smart about it. So the first things first, pointer 1, pre-exhausting. Now, if you've never tried this technique, pre-exhausting essentially means is we're going to take an isolation movement. So I'm going to give an example. Tonight, I'm going to do legs. Do legs. So the first thing is, now I do this every leg session just to make it more intense and It's a way for me to produce stimulus to failure without having to load the weight too high. And it also obviously challenges me. It means I'm connecting with the muscle straight on the off bat when I go into my compound. But that's, fuck me, can't just explain what it is, man. So what it is, we're going to take an isolation movement first, so be it the leg extension. So leg extension specifically isolates the quadriceps, the big chunky fucking legs. So we're going to do this more or less to failure, right? You only need a set or so and a drop back to achieve successful stimulus for this, okay? So whatever you normally do a set to failure. Get it completely done. And then you're going to move on to your big exercise. I assume you're doing squats or leg press or hack squats. Something with the multivariate movements is going to incorporate all the different muscle groups, the hamstrings and the glutes and the quadriceps and everything. It's a multivariate movement. That's your main exercises. What you're going to do for that then is you're going to go more or less straight into that. A couple of warm-ups wherever required, but one set. Once you're pre-exhausted, I'm going to tell you now, your legs are going to be shot and they're not going to be good for anything. You're going to feel the muscle and you're going to hit failure rather quickly without having to waste 3 or 4 sets of doing the same exercise. Well, shit. Perform your warm-ups. No need to take the warm-ups serious or produce them to any close to stimulus. Just take them, just get the joints warmed, and that last one, since you've just done a hard isolation set, I guarantee if you're not used to it and you move on to a big set like that, your legs will be fried very quickly and it will get the job done very quickly. So give pre-exhausting a go. Now the second one ties in with this. Say you really crunch for time and you have, say, and you're every day you do some sort of big compound. So let's switch it now. Let's say it's chest or back. Big heavy barbell row for your compound, or weighted chin up. That's a compound, or a heavy barbell press or some or dumbbell, right? But in between them you have, lat machines and cable rows and that kind of thing. Well, take out your isolations, which isolations are fucking important now. They are really important. They're just as important. Machine stuff is just as important as compound stuff. I'm a big believer of that. But for these kind of like crunch time scenarios, you're wanting to obviously try to stimulate as much muscle as you can. And your goal really here is to obviously make progress, but also to maintain that strength moving into the new year. So make sure that your bread and butter, I'm going to call these your bread and butter exercises, your compounds, are your main focus. Okay, go in, focus on for big main compound ones. If it's going to be a back day and you've only got 40 minutes, the first thing you're going to definitely do is some sort of barbell row from the ground. If it's strict pulling from the ground for the big spinal erectors to work, or if it's just something you're going to keep tension under, big compound movement, because there we can ensure that not only is your back, but there's other areas like your spinal erectors and all, your glutes and your core, everything's staying tight. It's tackling the whole system. It's not just tackling one isolation. And then if you still have time, then you can move on to your quick isolations in a row. So that's another option. Focus on your bread and butter exercises first. And yes, I'm just very aware that last 6 minutes thing was fucking blurry, but I'm not redoing it. The third point, you could do a more volume-based approach. So if your workouts are very log-booked and focused on progressive overload and strength, maybe you can change this up a wee bit on this segment and you could take a volume-based approach. Now, for a volume-based approach, what I would suggest is a supersetting type approach. So you're taking 2 exercises spontaneously and do them one after the other. So say it's for you need to train arms that day, you take a tricep pull down and some sort of bicep curl and do them straight away after that, no rest. So it's more taxing, it's more endurance based. It drives blood a lot quicker into the muscles because you're producing a higher rep range, and we're keeping the weight medium to allow you to perform to that level where you keep going without sort of too much lactic acid building up. If you're used to lifting heavy for a long period of time, the good thing about this is it's going to drive a lot of blood to the muscle mainly, which is nutrient flow, and it may help your joints to recover a bit more. Constantly doing heavy stuff, the joints do get hammered and hammered. So if you're sort of stripping that back like a deload sort of approach where you're reducing the weight load by about 40-50%, and then you're just taking them for more volume based, they can still have really good effects for stimulus and progression. So you could take a volume approach that would get things done a lot quicker. So if you're usually going in and doing heavy squats, it takes you like maybe half an hour to get to your max weight, easy enough, half the weight. It would take you half the time to get to that weight to warm up to it, and just produce it with maybe like a superset, squats into the lunges or squats into the leg extension. Just mix it up, just 2 things spontaneously. So what you're doing is every exercise in your program that you're not used to be doing, say there's 5 of them, you'll be then joining together now and just stripping the weight back. And you'll be able to perform them a lot quicker because again, the weight is halved. Now, on the flip side of that, you could be someone that's used to train volume. Then the approach I would take, if you're not used to this, would be then a strength test a week. So a week where you're testing your strength. and that would be testing your big 1 rep maxes and stuff. It's a good way to go into Christmas. I do it every year, the week just before Christmas. I change the approach, just have a little bit of fun, and I do a pure strength testing, RP8s, RP9s testing. So, you know, a max 2 rep bench, a max 2 rep squat, a max 2 rep deadlift, that kind of thing. Again, while it's good to stimulate my central nervous system, and also teach me garner more strength going into the new year. It's not going to be do much about for physical attributes. It's not going to be change me that much, but I'm not really too concerned about that. I'm just concerned about in the new year or the time up here maintaining the muscle I have and going in with a sort of a relaxed joint into the next year. So if you are usually a more volume guy, change the strength, because again, you'd only be really doing 1 set really hard for 1 rep max, and you could probably get that nailed out if you're serious about it within 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, so the very last one, which I would suggest, Christmas week, it's hard to get out. So, home workouts. Now, for a lot of you parents out there, you may the idea of a home workout may give you the little shits. But there's so much you can be doing a home workout. Now, you could say, oh, but press-ups are past me. Body weight squats are past me. They're so easy. Everything can be made more difficult. You can do so much. You can elevate your feet on a sofa to make the press up a lot more difficult. Down here. You can put a thick band over you and do the exact same thing. And I would probably suggest doing this when the kids go to fucking bed. But there's so many different ways that you can do this and make things more difficult. Legs are the exact same thing. You could pick a child up. A child can be picked up and used as a weight. For this segment of 30 seconds, he's not my child, he's my kettlebell. And I could come down on a front squat, squeeze for a second, and take a little 3-second positive. 1, 2, 3. Down with a negative. 1, 2, 3. Pause. And a 1, 2, 3 positive. Think like a bodybuilder. Try to make everything more difficult for yourself. Your home workouts can be very effective. Again, we're not looking to make serious progress in these next week or two. It's about chilling and having fun and just maintain as much as you get. Have a recovery around the Christmas week and going back into the new year fresh. Fuck, I'm unfit. That killed me already. That's Christmas week. The main message from this is to, of course, have fun. Take the time off, spend time with the family. Fitness isn't everything. Spend time with your kids, your friends. Eat well, be jolly. Get completely trashed and pissed. And go into January wishing that you never ate so much and you never drank so much. And I guarantee that'll make you motivated on January. Thanks, guys.